America.
My name is Camille, and welcome to my first Dokomi vlog. I run a print shop called Close Open Club in Los Angeles, California. It's my first time tabling outside of the US, so I was a little nervous about logistics and how well my Riso prints would do, but I went in with no expectations, and honestly, I had a great time. I make a mixture of Asian American nostalgia and some fan art, but since I'm going to an anime convention, I thought I'd draw some new stuff. I kind of like niche anime and manga, but I like what I like. I started printing a couple days before I left for Dusseldorf, so it was a little bit of a rush to get everything done. But eventually we got everything packed and I left for the airport Tuesday night for a red eye. I love red eyes. I feel like they're really productive. I met my travel buddy and booth partner, Kris, at the gate. She was nice enough to share her booth with me, and I'm so thankful. The flight felt really fast, but it might be because I fall asleep as soon as the announcements start. Luckily, I wake up for the food, which was not bad. We landed in Copenhagen and breezed through customs, caught our second flight to Dusseldorf, and it was a fast hour and a half. Unfortunately, it took like 100 years to get our bags. We were greeted by our friend Char, who was staying at the same hotel as us, and we met up with our friends Jacky and Lysandra for our first dinner in Germany. We did our best to stay up late and get over our jet lag, but I still woke up at 5:30 the next day. Our hotel had a breakfast buffet that had a really good spread. I loved the yogurt, cheese, and jam selection. I learned that Germany is not very big on ice, but they keep a little bucket for us Americans. We got ourselves hyped up for setup and grabbed an Uber to the convention center. But our Uber got lost and sent us to the other side of the entrance, so we ordered another Uber to take us to Messe Süd, not Messe Nord. Eventually, we made it in, and wow, look how big Hall 3 is. I can't believe how many halls there are, to be honest. Kris and I rented grids, and that took a little bit to get, but once we got them, we set up in about an hour and a half. I met some of our neighbors and other artists, and I have to say, the vibes are so nice here. Sadly, nobody knew who Zhang He was. A group of us left to wander around downtown a bit before dinner. We found this cute bingsu spot called Namu Cafe, and this watermelon bingsu was so perfect. Really didn't record anything else the rest of this night, but we eventually met up with Lysandra and Joy for some mid-sushi, and eventually ended up at the alley for some yogurt boba. Day one started with errands, and we found ourselves in this Uber with this cutie Pomeranian named Sophia, who just jumped at the back seat to hang out with us. Our Uber driver dropped us off at the convention center, and we were off to our booths. Honestly, I was a little worried it was going to be hot, but the weather was so nice, and Friday's crowd was pretty crazy, so it was really busy. For lunch, we found this vendor who delivered bentos to our booth. This really came in handy for Kris and I because we had no helpers for this con. Kris's booth was packed. I was so proud of her. It was so nice to see fun cosplays and chat with everyone. The foot traffic was steady throughout the whole day, and the only issue I had was that I could not get any reception to take card payments. But luckily, I had alternatives like PayPal. Despite that, day one went by really quickly. We packed up and headed over to a Chinese restaurant downtown to meet up with our friends Charles and Paula. And though the service was pretty slow, I was happy with how much fiber we ate. And that's all for day one. Day two started at 9:30 a.m., so we hurried through breakfast and made our way to the con. I was really impressed to see how many people were walking and taking public transportation to the con, because America could never. Saturday was also packed, but sales were a little less than Friday. I had watched some Dokomi vlogs to see how people were pricing their prints, but from what I could tell, Riso is not as big in Germany as it is in the US. No one told me how polite Germans were. Seriously, some of the nicest people passed through my table. It was really pleasant. Day 2 was long, but eventually it came to an end, and we were so tired from sitting and had a really hard time deciding what to eat, so we ended up at McDonald's. We stopped by a grocery store afterwards, and Kris found these American brownies. It never occurred to me that this was a snack of our people, but look at that Statue of Liberty. Day 3, the elevator stopped working, so we got our steps in and took the stairs down. We caught a taxi this time because the Ubers were giving us a bit of a hard time. We got in a little bit late, but we still made it in. I thought it would be nice to actually see Dokomi, so I left my booth a bit to see the sights. I met a cool Riso artist named Julia who runs Riso Limon, and she had this fun gacha machine which I had to play. I really wanted the mangosteen ink drum, and the gods were on my side because I pulled her. I literally ran into Char at the bathroom, and we took a detour to see some friends. I eventually made it back to my booth, sold out of my persimmon bandanas and cord bags, thank you friends, and before I knew it, Dokomi came to an end. I literally didn't film any breakdown, but we returned our grids and gathered the gang together for a celebratory dinner. We ended up at this vegan Vietnamese restaurant called Tune 1980, and it was a really nice way to end the night. We woke up late the next day. It was technically our free day, but honestly, everyone just wanted to chill and relax. After grabbing a little bite in the city, we made it back to our hotel and took over a corner of the restaurant to do some drawing and work. It was fun chatting and catching up. And we didn't want to move, so we ended up having dinner there as well. Despite having early flights, we tried to keep hanging out for as long as we could, but we parted ways and said our goodbyes. Kris and I were the last to leave, but we snuck in another breakfast and packed our bags and headed to the airport back to Los Angeles. It's been 2 weeks since Dokomi has ended, and I thought I would share my post-con reflection. It's really cool to see how conventions are outside of California, which is where I typically table. Never had any problems with language. English was really accessible, and even though it was such a diverse set of artists, I never found any trouble kind of communicating with anybody. I had the luxury of having some Dokomi veteran friends take me around, and that really helped me get a lay of the land and not feel so anxious about going for my first time. Would I do Dokomi again? Yeah, I totally would. It was so fun and the vibes were there. I felt like all the niche interests were there, which is so refreshing to see. I did really well given how niche my work is, and yeah, I thought it was really fun and I would totally go back. I definitely have to figure out the change situation, and somebody's gonna have to give me better food recs because that was really difficult for me. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this con vlog, and if I don't see you at Dokomi next year, I hope to see you at another convention elsewhere. Thanks for watching. Bye!